We are live, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Vets on Sports here at the iVetX.com studios in beautiful, not 6 feet under snow, Scottsdale, Arizona. So I was out yesterday, right? And I got a half day from the usual job because they give us half days for going to basketball games. It's a terrible place to work. I go out to Salt River Fields to pick up my season credentials for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And as soon as I walk in, Jim Myers is just awesome guy. He's director of communications out there for the D-backs. He goes, dude, you got to get in there. I was like, get in where? He points to the conference room. He's like, you got to get in there. I was like, all right. I didn't even know who was coming in or whatever. So I go in, I grab a seat, get my recorder ready. And Tony La Russa comes in, and it's the first time that I was part of a press conference for Tony La Russa. He's aging quite well, by the way. But I guess Tony's job is not so much as like the GM or something like that. He is like a special advisor, but because of his success in the past, he warrants a little bit more attention than any other advisor.
He's still a pretty big name in baseball.
He is. And one of the things that I love that he said, he's like, look, I've only been out here a couple of days looking at these pitchers, but I can tell you this, from everything that I saw, there's not one pitcher out there that doesn't deserve to be here. So they got some nice young talent. The question is, what are they going to do about 3, 4, and 5? Which, Brent, I'll ask you here in a second. But first off, happy birthday goes out to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Aaron Davis. He turned 47 today. And so have a very happy and joyous birthday weekend there, buddy.
He overshot it a little bit, I think.
45?
33.
I was close.
It's all downhill after that,
Yeah, I can vouch for that at 37.
You might want to talk into the mic.
Speaking to the mic. So, Brent, all right, we'll get into that here in a little bit, but some of the headlines this week, obviously Pacquiao, Mayweather. I think I would have been more excited if this happened like 3 years ago.
I think everybody would have.
It seems like it's always being delayed.
Did you see the price on that thing? It's going to be $90 for that pay-per-view for an undercard that's probably garbage.
It's only going to be like 15 because I'm going to go to Twin Peaks. Same thing. I'm going to go to Twin Peaks and watch it. So, but yeah, I'm still going to watch the fight. I mean, these, even though they're not done, you can't say these are two legends in the boxing world.
I don't know. Pacquiao hasn't looked very good the last few fights. I mean, I think he got knocked out in one and he lost TKO the other one.
Yeah, but his record is still awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking all the time when he was, 10, 15 years ago.
But the guy's he's still in phenomenal shape. He can still box. I mean, I think it's going to be a good fight. I don't think it'll be a knockout fight. I think it'll be very technical, a lot of points, but I don't see any knockouts. So,
of course, I still think there's some people out there that maybe say it's going to be built up so big and it's going to be over in 3 rounds.
I don't think
I don't know about that. Like I said, it's going to be very technical. I think everybody's going to be careful. This is the first time they fought each other. So I think everybody's going to be real careful. It's going to be like 4 or 5 rounds of feeling each other out before we even start seeing anything.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, right on. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So that fight is scheduled for May. Okay. So I like the fact they're going to get out of the way. It doesn't have to happen on like Christmas in Russia or anything like that. It's going to be where it's in Vegas, right?
I'm pretty sure it's in Vegas.
That's his hometown.
Well, that's Mayweather's hometown.
Yeah.
Pacquiao is
probably going to be at the
Philippines.
Probably at the MGM Grand.
He's also isn't he like a member of the Senate or something like
Parliament
that?
or something?
Something like that. I don't know what Philippines do.
I heard he also likes to eat dog, but I don't know if that's true.
K-gogi. Called K-gogi in Korea. Not bulgogi. Bulgogi's beef. K-gogi is a little rough.
You just make sure that you.
Where's my heyo sound?
Right. A little rough.
I have tried it. Which, by the way, they don't just like go around and cook up Lassie. It's a special breed. It's a little bluish kind of dog where they breed it just for food. All right.
You know what's really gross? You ever watch those travel shows where they eat like scorpions and stuff? I just can't watch that stuff.
Well, they travel around that. There's that one guy's the big bald guy.
That guy's show should be called "I Eat Gross Crap."
But you know what guy I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that sounds disgusting. Let me eat it.
Yeah.
What's funny about he'll get there and he'll have the bite of it, and he'll just be like, look at the camera, like, oh, that's not too good. But he continues to chew it and put it down. You're just like, oh man, you just paid for that. At least like with Bear Grylls out there, you just turn over a log or something. You're not paying for grubs, but.
Yeah, but that's different. You're surviving at that point in some aspect.
This is true.
Just for like a delicacy. I'm gonna eat a fried scorpion or a half-formed
testicle
chicken in an egg. Ugh.
What was that show with Chevy Chase where he put down like 47 sheep balls or something? What was it? It was like it's
Fear
not the
Factor?
Great Outdoors. No, Chevy Chase. It's an older movie.
Yeah,
where he likes move. Him and his wife moved to like this little small town in New York or upstate New York or something like that. And he's a writer, and he's supposed to write this novel and everything, and everything goes wrong. It's absolutely hilarious. I forgot what the name of the movie was. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Did anybody watch the SNL 40? Because he did not look good.
No, I didn't watch it.
Looked a little aged, or
He looked almost $3 bills, dude.
really?
He almost fell down the stairs. Too.
Wow.
He didn't look right, man.
No, I didn't get a chance to see that.
No, I didn't. Did not see it.
According to the ratings, though, more people watch the SNL 40 than the NBA All-Star game, though.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the NBA, Chris Bosh possibly out for the rest of the season, depending on how bad his blood clots are.
Yeah, I did catch that yesterday when they were talking about it on SportsCenter, but they're saying like specifically with that type of issue, the medication that they put you on, you can't stay active. So it's not like, I'm sure if it was something different, you can probably play through, but with the specific medication, like you have to be down. So they're saying, I thought I heard like 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, you got to be on blood thinners. So if anything happens to you, you get a bruise, it's not going to clot. It's just going to bleed you out. So
all right.
You have to be very careful.
So real quick before we move on to the next topic, Miami's in 7th place in the East, 23-30. They're only 2.5 games from Boston, who's in 12th place. Do they make the playoffs this year without Chris Bosh?
Well, with some of the recent trades they got, with getting they got both Dragic, right? Or
they got Dragic and Dragic, yeah.
Zoran and Goran.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
we'll talk about that here in a minute. That's just bull.
But I think because isn't there about like 16 or 18 games left?
No,
I think there's like 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought I heard that someone saying that for Miami in the East,
there's like 20 games left.
Their remaining games, they have an easier schedule than I think they're mentioning, like OKC and one of their teams that is going to be battling for that position. Mm-hmm. They have the easier schedule of the teams remaining. So, I mean, if there ever was a time for like one of them to lose like one of their starting people, it probably would be now. In the event, they also have help coming in with both Dragic.
The draw guy.
Guys.
I like their move. I like the moves to get the Dragic brothers. I don't think Zoran does much right now.
But they didn't give up anyone.
Yeah, and their picks are 2017, 2021. They're not a lot of stuff. I think Bosh hurts them, though. They lose a big man, and that's tough to find. But I think Dragic is a real good player. I think long-term they're going to be just fine. I think they make the playoffs, though, because the East is terrible. But I don't think they'll get out of the first round.
I don't know if they'll make it because, I mean, who else is going to –
Yeah, but who else is going to catch him? The Hornets?
Potentially. I mean, but again, Celtics are only 2 games back.
Yeah.
Now they got nobody. I'm just holding out hopes just so I can say that the Celtics are a playoff team this year. But
I mean, how many picks do the Celtics have?
The Celtics have 6 first-round picks in the next 2 years. So they're loaded. They will be loaded. I don't know if they're going to trade them or what Ainge is going to do. I hope they keep every one of them and then release the other half of the team and keep like 5 from the current squad. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's a lot of guys right behind him. They're in 7. Well, the Hornets are behind him.
The Hornets are.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yep.
Brooklyn, Detroit, Indiana, Boston.
Brooklyn, by the way,
there.
KG just signed to retire basically in Minnesota. I like that.
I think that's a good move.
I like that. They were packed last night in Minnesota as they beat the Phoenix Suns in Minnesota. They were packed because everybody wants to see KG back. That is awesome. I think it's good for Minnesota basketball.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he's probably there's rumors that says he's still going to play at least one more year.
I heard that they were going to extend his contract.
So, I mean, I'm a big fan of KG. Obviously, I was a big fan of KG's before he went to the Celtics.
No, and he was.
So,
I mean, I can remember because at that time it was like he and Kobe that had come in as right out of high school, and he's just like Kobe. I mean, his longevity has been there. But even if he goes and extends his contract, he can be a great person to have off the bench coming in. Even because we don't have that big man anymore. There is no more center.
The T-Wolves are young, and he's a leader. He'll be the leader of that team, so he can help tutor a lot of those guys like Wiggins, and grow into that role there. If you can convince him to stay in Minnesota, which is always a challenge.
Now, Miami's losing 21 points a game without Chris Bosh being on there. And then it goes down to 14 with Lil Dang. Mario Chalmers at 10 and Whiteside, their center, at 10. This is my first time even mentioning Whiteside on any show. So, yeah, Dragic can probably put in 12 to 15 a night for them.
Yeah, and Wade is constantly hurt. He's done.
He's not done. He's leading the team in scoring.
Yeah, but he's always hurt.
But he's still leading the team in scoring.
He'll be hurt. Just mark it.
There's only 20 games left. You've been saying that since the beginning of the season.
And he's going to be hurt. Oh, they got the Dragic jerseys available already on the Heat website.
On the Heat website? Man.
Shop Dragic.
But you know what, though?
Jerseys.
They've been saying that the only thing that they were missing, even when LeBron was there, was a true point guard. I think that if Dragic was already on the team 2 years ago, they would have won back championships in Miami.
I don't know about that. I mean, where are you going to put those guys? I mean, it's Wade's when he's there.
Wade's a shooting guard. Shooting guard.
He brings the ball
right
up,
now.
though.
Chalmers is the point guard. So, but
isn't Chalmers coming off the bench?
No.
Well, not now. He was.
He started. He's got almost 11 points a game.
But he was coming off the bench, and they were making those championship runs.
But that's because there's LeBron. It's give the ball to LeBron and let him bring it up as a point forward. But the biggest difference that you'll notice immediately right now in assists per game, Dwayne Wade's leading it at 5.3. Then Chalmers at 4.3. Dragic will come in and get 10 on his first night.
Yeah, he's a really good pass point guard.
Yeah. So that's what they've been missing for a while now. Chalmers is not a true point guard. Just because you're small doesn't mean you're a true point guard.
Yeah, but I think their problem is they don't have a big man. I mean, who are they going to go to?
That is the problem.
I mean, the Birdman, Chris Anderson. I don't think so.
I mean, you got Josh McRoberts as power forward. Mm-hmm. He can still shoot. I mean, he's young. He can shoot, but he's only averaging like 17 minutes a game. So, and then you've got
small too. You
got Haslam, who's probably going to retire this year. And that's about it down low. You got Chris Anderson, Birdman.
He's coming off the bench though.
And then you got Danny Granger. No, you're right, man. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm thinking. I don't know. The Heat could possibly just completely drop out of the playoffs without Chris Bosh.
They could.
Because they're barely holding on to that spot now.
I mean, they'll play small ball. They'll run it up and down fast. I think they'll be okay. I think they'll still make it.
Right on. All right. So next, what's the next story? What do we got? We got some NASCAR story. Dale Jr. won. Yeah, there is. Well, obviously the biggest one right now, suspended indefinitely, is Kurt Busch.
Yep.
Adam Bird, our boss, texted me last night. He's like, "Holy cow, Kurt Busch is kicked out of NASCAR." No, he wasn't kicked out of NASCAR. He's suspended. All right. That's why they use the word suspended instead of fired. So he is suspended indefinitely. They're waiting on the results. Technically, there are no charges that are being brought forward against Kurt Busch.
There's probable cause, so to speak. There's not quote unquote
right.
probable
The
cause,
only reason
but
why it's in the system right now is because of the restraining order.
I mean, here's the thing she says that she was a spy and went overseas and trained and killed people and all sorts of weird, bizarre stories. And the judge basically says, I trust her version of the incidents more than Kurt Busch. So I'm not sure what you take from that, but it doesn't sound good for Kurt Busch. That's what it is. That's how I take it.
Yeah.
They've got to come off strong. You got another guy, Travis Capville. Is that
no? They're bringing up Regan Smith from the Infinity Series.
Well, no, but he's in the Truck Series.
Right.
He has another domestic violence. It's not.
Oh, okay.
It's still pending. So you're kind of setting the precedence here of similar to like Adrian Peterson or Ray Rice. Of if this happens to you, we're going to drop the hammer no matter what, and then we're going to let the cards fall as they may. So I think you're going to see the same thing with him in the Truck Series here shortly. Once that gets to trial, this one is probably going to go to trial here shortly, and that's why you saw the suspension come out.
Right.
Bad timing for Busch though, and Regan
500s right now, yeah.
And Regan Smith, because the driver's change, he's going to have to go to the back of the pack. He's going to be
but in Daytona, you can go from and Junior showed this off on the race Thursday night. He started in last, and in 9 laps he was up to 6th.
Yeah, but
because it's all about drafting and finding a partner. If he can find a partner from Stewart-Haas Racing, then he can move right up to the front. He can get right behind Danica.
Yeah, but still, you don't want to start in the back.
You don't. Obviously, no. It's cleaner air up front, but at the same time, when you're up front and you don't have anybody that wants to push you, then you're in trouble. People always say when there's 2 or 3 laps left at Daytona, you want to be in 2nd or 3rd. Because then you'll get that push to go by. Because if you're in 1st, all you're doing is just blocking.
Yeah, well, you're opening the air for everybody.
Yeah, all you're doing is just blocking people.
Well, I heard this, and it may or may not be true.
It's not true.
If you ain't 1st, you're last.
This is true.
That is true.
It's
well, technically, but no, not really, because the 2nd place person gets a much bigger check than the last place person. So
that's just stupid. You could be 2nd, you could be 3rd, you could even be 4th.
It's science. I don't think anybody knows anymore.
Thanks, Ricky Bobby. Appreciate you.
I like that.
Shake and bake.
He comes home and his wife has already left him for the other. I've only been gone for like 3 days.
Well, 1, that chick is smoking hot, Leslie Bibb. But 2, I like the part where he calls him on the phone and he's like, "Hey man, why am I even talking to you?
Yeah.
I think your house is haunted." So stupid.
All right, moving on. Speaking of racing, I got a message today that I think I must have sent out in like a bottle and waited for the C to get to him. I finally got a message today from Ricky Ratman, who does Racing Rocks on Sundays on the radio. He's one of the biggest followers for racing shows. And he's interested in potentially coming on, so I got to get back with him. So absolutely awesome, Racing Rocks, Ricky Ratman. So looking at getting that done. Should be fun, man.
Hey, breaking news this morning. Mariota ran the 40-yard dash in 4.52.
Yeah, Winston was like at 4.97 or something.
Brady was at like 6.2.
He also had a concave chest.
Moving on. So yeah, that is something that I'm definitely the combine is going on right now. I watched probably the most boring hour of my life last night when they did big men and tight ends.
Who? I don't get it.
What are you?
I don't get it. Who watches the combine?
I do.
Because a lot of people watch it. I don't get it. Why?
Because you want to see who's out there for your team. If you need a good linebacker, you want to see, like, for example, I was talking to a Falcon fan yesterday, and who will probably end up coming on the show and also covering the Braves for us.
Is it LaRue?
No, he's in Atlanta.
I believe it's pronounced Hotlanta.
No, it's not. There's no H in Atlanta.
It's a soft H.
Then it would be Hatlanta. All right, moving on. So I don't even remember where the hell I was at, man. You guys.
Oh, you're
Talking
the race.
talking combine.
Thank you. So I was telling him about Gregory out of Nebraska, and so when your team wants to rebuild from the inside out, you do want to look at stuff like that. You want to check out their versatility because you want to make sure, like, if your team runs a lot and they run a lot of pulls and a lot of drags, you want to make sure you can get offensive linemen that.
Where was that?
What?
Pulls and drags. I figured this guy would chime in.
Jeez. Anyway, so you want to make sure that linemen can get off their hitch and make sure they keep their eyes upfield for the next level and things like that. So, and you got to make sure that they keep their hips underneath them.
I just can't be a lemming and just it's the same with Thursday night football. I love the NFL. I love football. I watch almost any game that's on, but some of those matchups, I don't care.
Just don't watch it.
But I just don't get. I don't get how it's such a draw. I don't get how so many people can watch it. It's because it's just like every other NFL event. It's a huge TV event. It's a top watch thing, and I just don't understand why. That's my thought.
Because you're looking potentially at the future of your team. If you're a diehard sports fan, you're looking at the future of your team. All right, you want to know why your team picked so and so over so and so. Because a bad combine will ruin somebody's draft pick.
But I don't need to watch it. I can say, okay, here's the time, here's this, here's that, here's this, or I could watch the clip of it later. I don't need to watch it live.
Well, one thing also is like it came out that the fastest lineman was from a D3 school.
Yeah,
I do like to watch the fat guy.
Well, no, let me just what I'm trying to indicate is maybe one thing that they also watch it is because now we get to see for all the big eyes that are coming up in this draft. You get to see like, well, you know what? Okay, that's the hot lineman, but the fastest one is actually from a D3 school, or the fastest receiver maybe wasn't from a Division I. It gives other people a spotlight somehow to get their name on the depth chart for those otherwise that would be overlooked.
Right, and I like that too because like you said, when you go to the combine, you don't have your name on the back of your shirt. You just have
a number.
So
number and position. That's about it.
If you excel at the drills, if you're fast, you can be a D3 player and get recognized.
Exactly.
And because there's a lot of schools out there that unfortunately, because of where they go to school, they're not on TV all the time. Right. So the combine is a great place to really show what you can do with the coaches.
Like the offensive line that you have going number one. Mm-hmm. Well, on the depth chart, boom, number one. But if they were looking at speed,
actually got Winston going number one, even though I don't want.
Well, no, but I'm saying of your offensive tackles that you're mentioning.
Right.
If you're up there, this one's number one. This one's supposed to go two. But if you're looking at the speed, well, even this guy might not be projected, but he's faster than anyone that you've got going. Down.
Right, but people, and that's another thing though that people don't understand is a lot of people will say, well, why do I care what a lineman can run a 40 and when he basically just has to run 2 feet? That's not exactly correct. If you do any type of pulls and that right guard has to get outside to get on that outside linebacker, you want to know how fast his get up is.
We had the same thing as tight ends. I had to pull down with a pulling guard if we were doing a long sweep.
Yeah,
and they had to make sure that the guard that I didn't run over him. He has to be quick enough to avoid the tight end pulling.
You did a nice pull.
But that's the whole thing. And you get like Al Davis, who just looks at the 40 time and takes the guy who's the fastest.
Well, some people do.
Did work out for a while.
You got to go vertical.
They just had another Hall of Famer put in this year from that era. So you can't be yelling at him. The guys went with us.
Yell at him.
Well, you can't because he's dead. That's just bad.
I can still yell at him.
That's bad karma. He's gonna haunt you. You're gonna wake up tonight and Al Davis can be sitting on the side of your bed and be like, "What the hell is your problem, son?"
He was a skeleton for like his last 10 years.
That's just wrong.
I'm gonna get stabbed by a Raiders fan.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just looking over the Red Sox.
Hey, we've got the same last name. We're connected somehow.
Are you? Yeah. Nice. All right. So that pretty much does it for headlines right now. We're going to go a lot more in depth here in a little bit, but why don't we go ahead and take a quick break, and we will be back with what are we going to talk about? Oh, you got to talk about the 500. You got to talk about Danica and Hamlin, Danny Ham sandwich. And
I'm on 5, hold the mail.
And then we're going to get into the trade deadline. What happened on the trade deadline? All the craziness besides the Dragic brothers going. So we'll be right back.
Would you like to own a thriving business and help employ local veterans? The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
Breaker 19. How about that bandit? You got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in your life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs host over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
I was walking down Rubber Duck Square. Not a chill to the winter, but a nip to the air.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to Vets on Sports here at the ivetx.com studios in Scottsdale, Arizona. Looking over, obviously, this is actually a pretty cool weekend for sports. NASCAR is off and running, basically. I mean, the 500 is not until Sunday, but they already did the truck series race, which I think Reddick won the truck series race, Tyler Reddick. And then today is the Xfinity race, which was the nationwide series. It's now the Xfinity series. NASCAR, by the way, is switching a lot of their sponsors around because Sprint's going to be done here, I think, after this year. So maybe it's going to be Verizon. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know who's going to take over, but it's going to be interesting. So let me look at the starting lineup. Well, Gordon, this is what I like about it. I would love to see this, and I'm not the biggest Gordon fan. I like him. I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I think he's already a Hall of Famer. But this is his last year. He's already said it. So I would love to see, even though I'm a junior fan, I would love to see Jeff Gordon win the Daytona 500 for the third time and final time in his last time. So even though they have another race later on in the year at Daytona, it's not the Daytona 500.
Well, I mean, this is almost kind of like, I mean, this is a big name leaving the.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably almost equivalent to like a Jeter walking away from the game.
He's probably going to end up on TV.
Oh, I could see that. I could see that. He's a liked personality, but and on many levels.
Yeah.
And for the most part, he stays clean. So yeah, I can see him on TV. But it's kind of weird when you hear about NASCAR now without Gordon being mentioned in the lineup. Like,
right. Well, he'll be mentioned all year. I'm going to get as many pictures of him as I can when they're out there at PIR. There's a lot of Gordon fans out there. So starting out, the first dual race, grid number 2, Jimmy Johnson won the second one. Junior won the first one. So, but even though Johnson won the second one, he had already qualified for the outside of the pole. So technically, he didn't even have to run. He just did it. Now, here's the risk and all that. Okay, Danica. All right, they only have like 7 cars for the season. All right, Danica's already wrecked 2
in back-to-back weeks, wasn't it?
This week.
Wait.
Yeah.
But
I don't think any of them were her fault. Hamlin spun her out the last time, and he said he didn't touch her. And the car owner, Tony Stewart, came to her side and said, "Dude, watch the video." And we're watching the video. He brushed her. He did. He didn't just go up and bump her. He swiped her. Yeah. So he went from right to left, or left to right, and then brought that back end around. No fun intended. And then she wrecked. So, but what I do like about Hamlin, though, he's not this bad guy jerk or anything like that.
No.
What I think happened more than likely was somebody was checking up, and he wasn't prepared to check up. So hit the brakes, basically. Mm-hmm. And, he ran into her.
Well, I mean, we all saw the post interview on SportsCenter, at least, when she's up there grabbing him on this. I mean, she had mentioned that she admits and she knows that he rides tight.
Yeah.
But again, they were almost at like 8 and 9.
Yeah.
You can see that they're trying to get up there. But yeah, when you watch the video, it's clear that there is contact.
Now, here's the funny thing. In order to qualify for this weekend's race, Danica had to finish in 10th.
Yeah.
Even after she wrecked the aforementioned Kurt Busch. Actually, remember I told you, even if you're in the back, if you can get a good push, you can move forward. Kurt Busch pushed her for a full lapper and got her into 10th. So now she's in the race on Sunday. So
I mean, there definitely was good works done there. It wasn't like it was an all.
The funny thing is, though, it's almost like Kurt Busch already knew. He's like, if I'm not getting in, my teammate's getting in.
That's cool.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
she's a terrible driver, and she's going to run out of cars.
She's not terrible driver.
I mean, I know we always argue about this, but people want to see her in the race too.
Again, she finished 26th last year out of like 47 drivers. All right.
How many races did she win again?
Ryan Newman finished second in the season. He didn't win any.
How many races did she win last year?
The same amount as Ryan Newman, who finished second.
How many did she win in that Indy career?
1.
Exactly.
Which is 1 more than Ryan Newman. So, I mean, come on. Just basing stuff off of wins.
Really? Hamlin gets close to her. She loses control and spins out. She can't drive. How many times do we have to determine that she can't drive before they kick her off?
He hit her, and she spun out.
Rubbing is racing.
Yeah, rubbing when you're going straight forward and bumping, that's fine. But when you've
got to be able to hold it.
When you're going at 180 miles an hour and somebody swipes your car from right to left, you're going to lose control.
She's not strong enough to hold it, I guess.
Or you could just blame it on the tires not being able to hold their grip.
Well, maybe.
She doesn't control the rear tire grip. Though.
That's her pit crew chief's decision.
That's Goodyear.
Well, it depends what tires they go with. If they go sticky.
They got Goodyear.
Anyway.
So
if she can't hold it, if she can't hold it, she shouldn't be out there. She can't drive.
Last year, she actually took the lead at Daytona. Late in the race.
Yeah? Did she win it?
She finished 6th at Daytona. Come on, man. Give her some credit.
She ain't first, you're last.
Jeez. Yeah, but you're dead last. That's a problem.
She's not a good driver.
She is a good driver. She's a phenomenal driver. When you're at the top of the line and you've got all these championships, you get more money thrown to you to make sure your car has the top of the line of everything. But yeah, she's last in line in Stewart-Haas, so her car doesn't get all the fancy, all the good stuff that everybody else gets.
Well, why would you? It's just going to be wrecked midway through.
She doesn't wreck every race, dude.
Pretty much.
There's a lot of people wreck every race. That's why freaking.
She make the chase last year?
No, but neither did 40 other drivers.
Has she made the chase ever?
She's only been in NASCAR for 3 years.
Yeah, and?
Oh my God, dude.
I know. Like 2015 is just.
You know she lives here, right? I would love to have her come in and just knock you out. That'd be awesome.
That's assault, brother.
I don't care. I would pay her bail just to see it.
Hey, I'd be living on an island and off the money.
Not for a right hook, you wouldn't. The only thing you'll be living on is tissues to clot the blood. She would kick your ass, dude. I know she would. Wow. Hatred for female. You're sexist. You don't say you don't say this about any of the male drivers. You're only saying this about Danica.
It doesn't have anything to do with it. I don't like that she.
Then why don't you point out the flaws of the male drivers?
I would if there was somebody that wrecked. But my point is she gets
nobody else wrecks in NASCAR but Danica.
She gets all this attention, but she doesn't win. It'd be like the same thing if Dale Jr. never won. He's won though.
But she's treading a path for female racers. That's why it's a big deal.
So what?
10 years ago,
you want equality, then we don't need to care about what sex you are. We need to focus on how you do in the races.
She does pretty good, man.
She doesn't do good.
She just finished 10th at Daytona.
In qualifying.
She finished 6th last year during the race.
Okay, good. Let's win one.
Oh, my God. So if you don't win,
let's
you
win
suck.
one. Let's make a chase. Let's get in an actual challenge. To
so when Junior made the chase, 2 years ago without winning a race at all, he just sucked.
Did he or did he not make the chase?
But he didn't win at all. You're going by wins. She didn't win.
I can go by both. She hasn't won a race. She hasn't made the chase.
I can probably give you 25 drivers right now that haven't won yet.
Okay, good for them. Do they get as much attention as she does?
No, but they're not female.
That's the point. That's the whole point is she's a girl. That's why we're giving her all this attention.
All right, so if a 15-year-old driver gets in there and doesn't win, but all the cameras are on him,
it's the same thing. If you want equality, let's not worry about what sex you are. Let's focus on how you produce.
But she's producing better than half the field.
No, she doesn't, because she would have made the chase if she did.
The chase is only 16.
She didn't. She's not a top driver.
Nobody said that, but she still deserves to be in NASCAR.
I didn't say she didn't deserve to be in NASCAR. I don't believe she deserves the attention she gets.
I do.
Her ability does not.
I think she looks great in her GoDaddy spreads. Just saying. I was just saying, look, all right, she's using what she has. I'm not mad at her for that. I'm not at all.
I get very mad when she's like, I do GoDaddy commercials where I flaunt my assets, but I don't want to be judged on my sex appeal. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth.
First off, I seriously doubt that she's approaching everybody with these ideas.
That happened last year.
It happens every year. I want to see that stuff. I think she's hot.
Okay. But then you can't complain when people look at you that way. You can't complain when people say, well, you're a female
You don't think
driver.
Females don't look at like Junior or Johnson or what was one that Denny Hamlin, when he did Denny Time, that commercial with his shirt off and everything? Really? So women don't look at the male drivers like we look at her.
That's not the point.
Oh, that's different, right?
I thought that was exactly the point.
That is the point.
The point is you can't use sex to sell and then say, well, I don't want to be
the
judged
whole
on
commercial
being
was him with it being undressed.
And he didn't say it bothered him to have people judge him as a sex icon.
I don't think she's saying it bothers her at all.
That was an important point. And she couldn't take a joke from Jay Moore at the NASCAR Awards about it.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, what was it about that one?
She just can't. It's my point is she back to my original point. The point is she gets too much attention for performance that she doesn't produce.
She's producing pretty good.
I disagree. She hasn't won a race. She hasn't made the chase. She couldn't win in Indy either.
She did win in Indy.
One time.
But it's a win.
Out of how many years? 5?
It's a win. So retract your previous statement.
No, I'm not.
So your previous statement of she couldn't win in Indy is correct.
She still didn't win consistently in Indy.
Oh, now you just throwing that shit on there. Throw it on there. Try and make it right.
I give her a break on winning in NASCAR because she's only been there 3 years, but then she should still make the chase if she's that good of a driver.
No, that doesn't make any sense at all, man. There's a lot of drivers that don't make the chase that are damn good.
And they're not that good.
Really?
She hasn't made it once. You can't be a top 16 driver and get that much attention.
Unbelievable. So last year, I'm looking at all these drivers that didn't make it, like Kurt Busch, who's a former champion.
He's a champion. He's won it before.
But he didn't make the chase last year.
He's won it
AJ
before.
Allmendinger, great driver. Greg Biffle, great driver, didn't make it.
Good driver.
Jamie McMurray, Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer, Austin Dillon, didn't make it. None of them made it. Brian Vickers didn't make it. Paul Menard, been in this league forever, didn't make it.
I'm sorry,
Martin Truex Jr.
not a top driver.
Martin Truex Jr. didn't make it. He's a hell of a driver.
I don't see a lot of commercials with Martin Truex Jr. in it, and I don't see it the lead story on ESPN either about Martin Truex.
Well, that's the Earnhardt's fault.
But that's my point is she gets a lot of attention that she doesn't warrant with her performance.
I think she does. Michael Waltrip, Hall of Famer, didn't make it. Matter of fact, Hall of Famer Michael Waltrip finished 42nd last year.
He's not as good as his dad.
16 spots behind Danica.
Not as good as his dad.
Unbelievable. You're hating on her because she's a female.
I'm hating on her for the attention she gets that I don't think she deserves.
I think she
on
does.
her performance. It has nothing to do with her sex.
I think she performs pretty good.
Yeah.
I think she does pretty good.
That's
Well, looking at the rankings, she does come up just as of right now with all of the rest of the NASCAR. She's ranked 28th out of 50 right now. So I mean, she's
not bad.
She's in there, and she's definitely
that's the
in the
bottom
middle.
half. 28 out of 50.
And
that's the bottom half.
There's a lot of drivers out. Tony Stewart's 25th.
Yeah, I was just going to say she's also
bottom half. Come on,
well,
man.
I don't like Tony Stewart either, but at least he won.
Yeah, but that's my point. You're picking. You just don't like her. That's your thing. It doesn't have anything to do with her stats. You just don't like her.
She's above Jeff Burton, Ryan Truex.
Oh yeah, David Reagan,
Labonte,
Reed
Bobby Labonte.
Sorensen, Michael McDowell, Travis Kavapel.
Show me what she's done
Jeff
besides
Burton.
being a female to warrant all the attention. Nothing. She hasn't won anything. That's my point.
Actually, there's 56 drivers. I'm
So nobody should
Still
pay
bottom
any
half.
attention to her until she wins.
If she wants that kind of attention, she should produce. It's the same as Junior a few years ago. He got a lot of attention because of his dad, but then he won. He won the Daytona 500. He's been in the chase consistently, so he's proven that he can do it on his own. It's the same thing.
We got to get Danica on the show, just so I can have Aaron try and tell her that she sucks. And that'll be the last NASCAR driver that'll come on this show. I guarantee it. That'll make national news, and he will be marked as a sexist.
You know what would happen if she got on the phone? It'd probably break.
Oh, wow. Hatred. Wow. Yeah, I think he has a little bit of sexist to him, man.
It has nothing to do with sex.
But you're not talking about any other drivers.
I just told you the same thing about Junior. 3 years ago.
You're not 3 years ago. His dad's been dead for friggin' ever.
But my point is that he was getting a lot of attention and he didn't win. Then he won the
He
Daytona
came out
500.
winning.
He's made the chase consistently. So that's why he warrants all that attention that he gets. It's the same situation with her. If she could win and or make the chase consistently, I'd have no problem with it. My problem is that she gets all the attention and she hasn't done anything.
So the only way she deserves attention is she's in the chase for the championship. That's it. That's what you're saying.
She wins. To get the amount of attention she gets, she should be winning. That's my point.
I disagree.
But that's because you love her.
No, I wouldn't go that far. She's white.
Whoa. It's jumped up a notch.
Yeah, I mean that's no secret for me and my followers, and I haven't dated a white girl since high school. It's just one of those things. Do I think she looks good? Yeah. Would I date her? No. Nope. Not that she would ever recognize my existence, but no, I wouldn't.
Isn't she married or engaged anyway?
Yeah, to a fellow racer.
And I don't think he's won anything either.
Wow.
It'll be like that
Just
thing.
picking on the whole household.
Watch, they'll have like a kid. Like when you have ugly people, they have really hot children. It'll be like the same thing. They'll have a kid, and then they'll win every race.
So not only did she crash, but she still qualified. Not only was she wrecked, she still qualified.
Good. Now win.
Acknowledge that she was wrecked.
She wrecks every race, pretty much.
Acknowledge that she was wrecked. Not that she was in a wreck.
I don't think she was. I don't think she could hold it.
Dude, watch the
rubbing is racing.
But can you say that without her getting bumped, she would have wrecked automatically? Can you say that for sure?
But that's the whole field. There's guys that are.
But the whole field wasn't rubbed like that.
No, but that's my point. Is you've got to be able to drive real close quarters. That's how NASCAR is,
dude. I can bump you on the 101 and drive you off the road.
You could, but I'm also not a NASCAR driver.
But still, we're not going 120 miles an hour or 180 miles an hour either around a corner.
I could probably hold it though.
I don't know. We might have to find out. That's why he takes off so fast. Well, that's why he knows I might try it one day.
Yeah, and you put down and you pop it. You blew a tire on the 101. It's probably because you were racing someone.
Yeah. No. Yeah. What? You couldn't control it? What the hell?
I did control it. I got right off.
Well, that's your pit crew's fault. That's what that is.
It was a Goodyear tire. It was a bad tire.
Bad day on a Goodyear tire.
That's just ridiculous. Gary.
Anyway, let's go next topic.
She'll have at least 4 top 10s this year. At least.
I'd take that bet.
Oh, yeah. I'll bet that any day.
What happens when she runs out of cars?
They'll buy more.
Does that count as 0?
They'll just buy
count
more.
As last?
You fix up the ones that are wrecked. That's just the way that is. She's kind of driving a wrecked one here. But, I mean, even without being repaired, she still got that wrecked one up to 10th place. So I think she'll be all right. As long as Danny Hamlin doesn't do anything about it, she'll be all right. So, all righty then. My racing team that I have.
Is Danica on it?
Oh, I actually had to pick Danica.
You're talking about your fantasy.
I didn't have
NASCAR,
enough.
right?
Yeah, I didn't have enough points to pick. Everybody else below her was horrible.
Shocker. She wasn't worth that many points in the league.
Well, no. She was about average for the average driver.
So that's right where she is in the position. 28 out of 56.
Right, but she's an average driver. Average drivers still deserve to be in NASCAR.
So I never said she didn't deserve to be in NASCAR.
For the listeners, who do you have on your fantasy? Who do you draft?
Do you have horse teeth, Carl?
I've got Harvick. I've got Junior. I think I've got Mears, Danica, and hold on a second. Let me pull this up. I don't know who I got.
So I'm guessing your guys' draft was quite similar to like in baseball, where certain points are allotted to a certain player.
Yeah. You have 100 points. The top drivers are 25 to 27 points.
So each person gets about 5 to 6 drivers.
Yeah, about. And then
does everyone race, or do you have to sit someone?
No, everybody races.
Okay.
And then it's 3 segments throughout the year. So at the end of the first segment, you can go ahead and change up your team completely if you want. And then do it again at the end of the second segment. But for some reason, I just can't pull it up.
The list, right?
Yeah, my team.
Okay.
So I didn't say get it up. I said pull it up. Difference. Very big difference. So I am a big Junior fan, but I'm going to be kind of pulling for Gordon this year. I want him to go out on a high note, at least be in the chase, which I think he will be. Junior will be in the chase. Johnson will be in the chase. You'll see a lot of similar faces, with the exception of Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart will be in the chase this year. He will, because he was out for a while last year with the broken leg. So, and then the whole incident on the dirt track. So, anywho, that should be an interesting weekend for racing. The Xfinity Series is today, and look for Kyle Busch to take that Monster 54 and drive away with it. I can't wait for them to come here because Busch dominates. Busch and Keselowski, I want to say, dominate the Xfinity series here.
What about the Xfinity series? I mean, why do they dominate that one as opposed to any of the other ones?
I don't know. It's just
I know certain places have different tracks and different.
There's a lot. Well, Busch and Keselowski always race good here, and so doesn't Carl Edwards. He always races good here. Harvick obviously races good here. Junior not so much. Danica not so much. Danica does better in the big tracks. I'll give you that. So she does a lot better in the super speedways.
So PIR is a smaller track?
Yeah, the smaller tracks, the more crowded tracks, Danica struggles with. But when the ones that are open, Atlanta, Lowe's, the one in California, Vegas, Daytona, obviously, she'll do a lot better. A lot of drivers do better because there's a lot cleaner air. There's a lot cleaner air. There's a little bit more room to maneuver. Okay. And I think that if Danica gets pissed off and starts driving like everybody else drives, she's going to piss a few people off, but she'll start moving up. And I think that's the thing. She's got a reputation because she's got a lot of kids that look up to her, a lot of girls that look up to her. I want to go down that path. She doesn't want to be the bad girl racing. So I think that she could drive the way that she needs to drive, but she doesn't because she wants to hold on to a certain reputation. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. So anything to add to that segment there before we take a break there, Aaron?
She could drive like
plus or minus 25.
She could drive like that right into the wall.
Daytona, what do you got? Plus or minus 25?
25 what? Her position?
Yeah.
I think she'll be like 16.
That's good.
It's not one.
But if you do 16 every race, you're in the top 16 for the chase.
Very good. But the problem is she'll be, when it comes to like Watkins Glen, she'll be 41.
I didn't even see how she did last year, Glenn.
I'm just talking about road courses in general, not specifically Watkins Glen.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of drivers like Truex, like Montoya was. Montoya's not in anymore. He went back to driving street cars.
As well he should. He won a lot there.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of drivers that will win at the street courses that won't win on the ovals. So
yeah, and there used to be a mix of like 50-50 tracks.
And Danica knows how to drive those street tracks too, because in Formula One and Indy, it's not going around in circles.
Formula One.
Are we ready for a break yet?
Yes.
Let's go to a break. I got nothing to say to that.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey, everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before